What's up guys, ChartSmith here, back again with a new video. Today we're gonna look at what I think of the market for today, and we're also gonna look at the trade from yesterday and a trade from this morning that I think is a really interesting one. So let's get into the higher time frame analysis first. As I said yesterday in the daily market update video, we took out pretty much all our extreme liquidity from this whole grind up. We left open equals. I talked about it. Maybe we could take it out. We don't need to. Well, we didn't do it and we just pumped up. It was a 2%, probably even more than 2% up yesterday. We can have a look at it. Yeah, 2.3% up yesterday. So it was a big pump day and we already claimed back the half of the whole down move. Right now we came into some resistance though. We have this really big inverse for value gap here that brought you towards the new all-time high. Also combination with this breaker block. You could draw it from here, but I like to draw it in correlation with this inverse for value gap. So I will draw it like this. That is some resistance. We're also from this whole move in our 0.5 from the whole range. So it's probably gonna be a bit slower of a day today than it was yesterday. On the 4-hour, you can see we tapped into a value gap here. Maybe even higher time frame. Yeah, so on the 8-hour we tapped into our high time frame for value gaps. Also in this local range. Let me grab my DL tool. We had a really nice distribution on the highs here. 3 taps with your technical target being also the Asia low. I reckon, yeah, you took out Asia high, made the third tap, technical target of the range Asia low, and from there you can expect more upside, because from this up move your next liquidity point will be here and will be here. Yeah, you could say this one. So this will be your next liquidity points. So we could expect some upside from here if the market tells us we could look for it with leaving open this low. That's a nice indication we can go towards the upside, or just start making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. You can expect some upside, of course. So I'm still expecting upside. As I said, probably a bit slower than yesterday, because we're in the middle of the range of the whole down move. Also close to some resistance points on the higher time frame. We also made this 1-hour for value gap. That would also be a nice confluence for more upside, or maybe even a rejection point if the market would like to. Is gonna use this. If we flip this, it's a nice confluence to go higher. If we reject it, then yeah. If we reject it, gonna go below this low, then you can expect some more downside locally. Let's get into the lower time frames. This distribution is also the trade I want to talk about, but we're gonna go into that in a minute. Yeah, took out all the liquidity of this range. Pump up, also some profit taking, of course. Interesting. I was before recording this video looking at this. I did not take the trade because she came up, took out the high that broke above the high that brought you towards new lows. So what can you expect? Higher low for an higher high, but also it's in the middle of your 0.5 here. So I didn't really like that. And if you look at this structure, yes, you left open your low. I wanted to see you take out the high, so you know this low is going to get protected and you can expect more upside. Or some sort of manipulation with breaking above this high, getting in some buyers, taking out the low, and then give me an entry. But it didn't do either of those. And why didn't I take this trade? Because if you're gonna leave open this high, price can always take out this low, and my stop loss would have been below this low. You never know if it's also gonna take out this. So that's not a really interesting trade for me to take. Yeah, that's the local picture. I want to get into a trade from yesterday. This is also it's a difficult one. That's why I didn't take it. My trading partner and mentor as well, he did take it. So I could learn. I've learned a lot from that, and I'm gonna take it into my next trades. I'm gonna backtest it, of course. I'm gonna try to understand it, and maybe I can use it to my advantage as well. And I'm gonna try to explain it to you guys as well. Maybe you can learn something from it. As you know, the whole day was up. AM opened just a straight pump up, and when AM ended, we started grinding down a bit, building up a lot of liquidity on the highs. And we had a really nice liquidity point to take out here. This is the last liquidity point that there is for the market in this whole up move. So otherwise, it would have dumped down a lot more if it needed more liquidity towards these lows. But with this move up, it's not really likely. And when you take out a low here, you can expect some upside. I missed a couple of things here. I knew I could look for upside. I was looking for an entry, but I couldn't find one. There's not really an inverse or a bullish for value gap to use, as you can see. Not really breaker blocks or anything. But he saw something I didn't saw. On the 32nd, this is a structure pool. You gained that structure pool. So a lot of buyers got into the market here because you broke some structure after taking out liquidity. What happened? All the early buyers got taken out. And after that liquidity hunt and manipulation, you broke structure towards the upside again. I also knew, okay, now it's really interesting because you had some manipulation here and you broke structure towards the upside. But for me, never a bearish for value gap to inverse, no breakers or anything. But what did he do? That's also a thing from crypto. Old liquidity is something that gets respected a lot of times. It's just a point of support or resistance. So this was all old liquidity that he, let me get rid of this, that he wanted to use as a point of support and also a trigger for him to take an entry. It is a point for an entry because if you have an invalidation point like this, the market, if it wants to go up, it's gonna leave open this low because it manipulated. The market makers have stepped in here. If they are in this market right now, they have stepped in here. So you know, maybe it's not a original entry like a breaker block, an order block, or an inverse for value gap. You gotta think out of the box sometimes because otherwise you could have never taken this trade like I did. And he used all liquidity. If you know how to draw it in, it's really difficult. You have to backtest it, how old liquidity is gonna get respected. But that was the entry he took. I couldn't take an entry, unfortunately. Then I wanted to talk about something I didn't see this morning because I saw we had this distribution on the highs. So if you break some structure towards the downside or got some extra manipulation, just a confirmation for you to take the trade. The technical target would be this low. So there's a lot of trend liquidity before that low and a really nice low to target. Also your Asia low. What I didn't see was this small structure pool over here that brought you towards a new high. So a lot of people, when you broke below this market structure pool, think, okay, the market has changed. We can expect some bearish order flow now. We are going to take sell orders and we expect a lower high for a lower low. But this is something market makers like to do. They lure in the sellers here. They take out the early sellers, as you can see over here. They come up with a lot of power. After you take out the high again, they instantly switch and fill up their orders. A lot of volume is being produced here as well. Well, what do you do then? Then you have to be so aggressive as you can be, because you have your manipulation. You already have a confirmation with your distribution on the highs. Highly expected to have some market maker involvement here. Yeah, then it's just really simple. For my funded account, I like to target around 3 risk to reward, but you could target for almost 7 risk to reward this low. So that was a trade I unfortunately missed because I didn't saw the structure pool. I was waiting for this because what I just saw was this. Okay, with high low and higher high. I have to wait for the market to take out this low. Then you have to switch bearish, and then you can hopefully uh, take a trade on the lower high, then play towards the lower low. But that obviously didn't happen because you already had your manipulation, and then yeah, the market is just gone and you're too late. So the plan for today, I hope it's clear. I also talked about some trades I took yesterday, and then that will be it for today. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave behind a comment about what you think of these videos. Also tell me if you like when I go over some trades I missed or some trades I did take. And then I will see you in the next one. Ciao!